Hello, bonjour, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you are here. Reims is a charming city in northeastern France, and it is a big deal historically and culturally. Most people know it as the unofficial capital of the Champagne region. But it is also renowned for its rich cultural heritage, architecture, and deep connection to French history, particularly the monarchy and champagne production. So Reims is that perfect mix of French history and champagne sparkle. Today I will show you 6 places you must see in Reims, France. Let's go! Allons-y! Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Reims. First off, you have to see the Reims Cathedral, Notre-Dame de Reims in French. It's a stunning Gothic masterpiece, where almost every king of France from the 11th century until Charles X in 1825 had their coronation there. Think of it as a French version of Westminster Abbey in London. The Notre-Dame de Reims Cathedral is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was built starting in 1211 after a fire destroyed the previous church, and it has those classic Gothic features. Towering spires, intricate sculptures, and those stunning rose windows. The front facade is especially famous. It's covered in statues, including the very well-known Smiling Angel statue, which kind of became a symbol of French resilience during World War I. The Galerie des Rois, or Gallery of Kings, constructed in the 14th century and located above the main rose window, consists of 56 statues, representing a series of figures including the baptism of Clovis I by Saint Remi and other kings. The statues are about 15 feet or 4.5 meters tall. The gallery is a key part of the cathedral's facade, and plays a role in the overall architectural and symbolic meaning of the building, particularly in relation to the French monarchy. And fun fact, Marc Chagall, the famous artist, actually designed some of the stained glass windows added in the 20th century. So it's this cool blend of medieval and modern touches. Have you seen the ceiling of the Paris Opera House that Marc Chagall painted? If you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out in the luxurious Opera House in Paris, Historic Ballet Garnier video. You can take a guided tour of the tower of the cathedral. The tower tour offers a chance to climb the cathedral's central tower, which stands at over 80 meters or 260 feet tall. The climb to the tower involves around 250 narrow, steep steps, so be prepared for a bit of physical effort. Along the way, you will get to see close-up details of the cathedral structure, such as intricate carvings, statues, and unique architectural elements. Led by your guide, you can enter the loft of the cathedral, where you can see the framework. It is really neat. The framework of Reims Cathedral is not made of wood, but of reinforced cement. On September 19, 1914, during World War I, a fire consumed the wooden framework. 1,800 tons of oak beams were lost, along with the 400 tons of lead roofing. The chief architect of historic monuments, Henri Dunant, conceived a framework structure composed of small reinforced cement. The new structure built between 1924 and 1926 is inexpensive, fireproof, lightweight, and can be dismantled as required. Once you reach the top, you will be rewarded with the spectacular panoramic views of the city of Reims and the surrounding Champagne region. La Brasserie Boulingrin. Brasserie Boulingrin is one of those timeless spots that feels like some place from the past. Established in 1925, this Art Deco gem has been serving traditional French fare ever since. The atmosphere is cozy and lively, with banquets, a long bar, and a menu that makes you feel like you've stepped into a classic French bistro. You can have French comfort food and a traditional menu. They also offer a 25 euro set menu that includes an entrée, main course, dessert, drink, and coffee. It is actually a very good deal. The brasserie sits just across from the historic Gare du Boulingrin, a covered market that has been around since 1929. It is a perfect spot to enjoy a meal before or after exploring the market or the nearby Notre-Dame Cathedral. Musée de la Reddition. Le Musée de la Reddition, Museum of the Surrender in English, is a fascinating and historically significant place, especially if you are interested in World War II history. This is the actual place where Nazi Germany signed the unconditional surrender on May 7, 1945, effectively ending the war in Europe. The museum is in the same building that housed the Allied headquarters, and the room where the surrender was signed is preserved exactly as it was that day. Maps on the walls, furniture, and everything. It's like stepping right into a pivotal moment in history. The museum itself is pretty compact, so it's not overwhelming. It has a lot of original documents, photographs, uniforms, and equipment from the era. One of the best things about it is how authentic it feels. You are not just looking at items in glass cases. You are literally standing where history was made. If you are in Reims, this museum is definitely worth a visit. It's not flashy, but it's powerful and moving. You can walk out of there truly feeling like you've connected with an important part of world history. Porte de Mars. The Porte de Mars in Reims is one of those historical gems tucked away in the middle of a city. Imagine strolling through a modern French town and suddenly coming across a massive Roman triumphal arch. And yes, that's the Porte de Mars. It dates all the way back to the 3rd century during the Roman Empire. And it was originally one of the gates into the Gallo-Roman city of Durocortorum, which is what Reims was called back then. It is remarkably well preserved, especially for something almost 2,000 years old. It's huge, over 30 meters long and nearly 15 meters high, making it the largest Roman arch in France. For centuries, it was buried or built into other structures, but it was uncovered and restored in the 19th century. Maisons de Champagne. Maison de Champagne is a French term that translates to House of Champagne in English. It refers to a producer or company that makes champagne, the famous sparkling wine from the Champagne region of France. A Maison de Champagne is typically a well-established champagne house, often with a long history and tradition in crafting champagne. Examples include big names like Moët & Chandon, Veuve, Clicquot, and Tétinger. But there are about 100 champagne houses and 5,000 smaller champagne producers in Champagne, France. In my opinion, visiting the champagne houses in Reims is one of those unforgettable experiences that blends history, luxury, and of course plenty of bubbly. Most of the bigger champagne houses offer guided tours that take you through their underground cellars, some of which are centuries old and stretch for miles beneath the city. These chalky tunnels called crayères keep the bottles cool and are fascinating to explore. It's a little like walking through a wine-scented cathedral of stone. And each house tells its own story. If you want to see a Veuve Clicquot cellar tour, please watch the Visiting Veuve Clicquot Cellars in Champagne video. Basilique Saint-Remi. The Basilique Saint-Remi in Reims is a real hidden gem with a fascinating story. It's not as famous as the towering Reims Cathedral, but honestly, it's just as magical in its own way. Maybe even more so if you are into history and peaceful, atmospheric places. The basilica dates all the way back to the 11th century, though the site itself has roots going even further, to a small chapel from the 5th century. It's named after Saint Remi, the bishop who baptized Clovis I, the first king of the Franks to convert to Christianity, which was a huge turning point in French history. He's actually buried here, and his tomb is beautifully preserved. Architecturally, the basilica is a blend of Romanesque and early Gothic styles. It's got this long, peaceful nave that feels almost monastic, and gorgeous stained glass that casts colorful light across the ancient stone. It's quieter than the big tourist spots, so it has almost a spiritual calm to it. It is a perfect place if you are into soaking up history without the crowds. If you ever get the chance to visit Reims, I definitely say don't skip it. The stillness of Saint-Remi, it really feels like stepping back in time. And yes, Reims has this lovely mix of old and new.
You can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right, don't have to be scary. You just gotta fall
It's only 140 kilometers from Paris. You can easily drive or take a TGV train from Paris for a day trip. I hope you have a chance to visit this elegant, historic and wine-rich city in Champagne, France. If you have enjoyed it, please do give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you again next week. Please subscribe if you want to see more of my weekly videos. Thanks so much for watching.